Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to continue more on gambling and the stock market. I was watching a video yesterday from Fox Business News, and it had an Ohio politician who was very keen on the negative parts of gambling, stating that it is not good to have it. A lot of people go broke from it, causing a lot of problems. But it even got interesting when it was taught that the tax dollars that come in from this are very low, especially in his particular state in comparisons to others. Mentioning that when we get $1 in tax revenue, that's like paying $3 back in welfare costs, meaning it's a losing proposition. And it's no surprise to find out that the government's trying to make gambling look really bad. No surprise. So I decided to take a look at a few legal issues and see what I could come up with. And the first one that I found was from the Internet Gambling Prohibition Act of 1999, which states the negative consequences of online gambling can be as detrimental to the families and communities of addictive gamblers as if a brick-and-mortar casino was built right next door. Online gambling can result in addiction, bankruptcy, divorce, crime, and moral decline, just as with traditional forms of gambling, the cost of which must ultimately be borne by society. So that was stated in 1999. Very problematic, and I was even stating in the H1N1 swine flu video, the last one that I did, that I was comparing the swine flu and the deaths with alcohol and how problematic that is. And I can do the same thing here. We look at alcohol. How many people have had situations of divorce, crime, addiction, and bankruptcy? But no, they don't do anything to try to reduce it. But this isn't about alcohol, it's about gambling and mainly equity trading. When you go on to TD Ameritrade, put some money in, you are essentially online gambling. Looking at charts, looking at different codes and such, and then trying to make some money with the risk of losing money. Because there's been a lot of people who have lost big on the stock market. And just like any other casino, you have to pay a house fee to play. This being the bid-ask ratio differences and of course the commission fees. You go to a casino, you play a poker game, you got to pay extra money just to play in the tournament. Maybe it's a $100 tournament, but pay the casino $15 extra. Maybe you play some cash tables. Well, every pot, they take like $3 or $5 off of every pot. That's how they make their money, so they can't lose. Same thing is true with equity trading. Now, I was looking at some more information, and this is from the SafePort Act of 2006. This title prohibits the transfer of funds from a financial institution to an internet gambling site with the notable exceptions of fantasy sports, online lotteries, and horse and harness racing. So apparently it is illegal for the financial institutions to deal with money back and forth. What this meant when they put the SafePort Act in was to stop these online these online financial institution companies from allowing you to transfer money back and forth into online casino sites. Companies like NetTeller, for example, they got hit very hard, and this resulted in less people being able to play on the online casinos. But if you look at the way those legal terms are written, it says clearly on there that financial institutions are prohibited from being able to transfer funds. So it should be illegal for you to transfer funds to TD Ameritrade or transfer them back later on, based on law. Very, very interesting. It seems extremely contradictory, in my opinion. I was watching CNBC yesterday, and they said that TD Ameritrade alone has 410,000 trades per day. Throw in the other companies like Scottrade and E-Trade, and heck, there's so many others. It wouldn't surprise me if there was 1 million trades executed per day. Majority of these are done either on the computer, which would be the similarity of playing an online casino. Maybe you use the phone to trade stocks. Well, that's similar to using the phone to call up a bookie and place a bet on the New York Giants to cover. That's about the same. And maybe you go right to the New York Stock Exchange itself to make plays, or the Toronto Stock Exchange. That's similar to going to the actual brick and mortar casino. See, there really isn't that many differences. And they said that the exceptions were fantasy sports, online lotteries, and horse racing. We look at horse racing, more juice, more difficult than sports. Very interesting. And they never even put in equity trading. So it seems to me that it is unlawful to deposit money into broker accounts based on that. Now, it's also very interesting how governments put very strict rules and regulations on these casinos, which I think is fair. They do stuff like encouraging responsible gambling. If you go to the casino, there is definitely pamphlets there about it. And if you go to the webpage, there is a link for a gambler's helpline on every casino. If you go to Ameritrade's webpage or E-Trade's webpage, you're not going to find that. So the regulations that they put on other casinos, they're not putting on their own casino. Well, that's enough for this video. Thank you for watching, commenting, rating, and subscribing to the channel. Peace and light. Have yourself a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.